The Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 1, The Yoga of Arjuna's Despondency. The great battle of Kurukshetra is about to begin. Warriors from both sides are ready. Conches blow and the air trembles with anticipation. Arjuna, standing in his chariot, asks Krishna to place him in the middle so he can see both armies. But when he gazes at his relatives, teachers, and friends on both sides, his heart trembles. His bow slips from his hands, his body weakens, and he declares, "I cannot fight." This is not Arjuna's despair, it is the human condition. We too face moments where duty clashes with emotion and we freeze. Arjuna's breakdown marks the start of wisdom. It is only when we admit our uncertainty that true guidance can begin. The teaching is timeless. Acknowledging our confusion is the first step towards clarity. Life will place us in situations where fear, doubt, and attachment paralyze us. But these moments are invitations to awaken and to seek guidance and to find courage beyond emotion. Chapter 2, The Yoga of Knowledge. Krishna responds to Arjuna's despair not with comfort but with clarity. "This sorrow is unworthy of you. Stand and act." He explains that the soul is eternal, untouched by birth or death. Only the body perishes, the self remains unchanged. Death is but a change of garment for the soul. Krishna also introduces the principle of detached action. One must act according to duty without obsession over results. Success and failure are transient. Effort is what counts. Steadiness in pleasure and pain, in gain and loss, is the mark of wisdom. In today's world, this lesson resonates deeply. Life is unpredictable. Outcomes are never guaranteed. But when we dedicate ourselves fully to our work, without clutching results, we discover inner freedom. True courage lies in acting rightly without fear of failure or attachment to reward. Chapter 3, The Yoga of Action. Arjuna questions the purpose of action when knowledge seems higher. Krishna explains that action is unavoidable. Even doing nothing is a form of action. What matters is performing duty without selfish desire. Selfless action purifies the mind and becomes a form of worship. He further explains that the world itself functions through action. Just as rain nourishes without asking and the sun shines without expectations, humans too must act for the greater good. True freedom is found in performing responsibilities with sincerity, not in abandoning them. For us, this is a profound call. See work as a service, not as a burden. Every task, no matter how small, is an opportunity for growth, for learning, and for expressing our higher values. Work done selflessly is the only path to liberation in an otherwise ordinary life. Chapter 4, Knowledge and Renunciation of Action. Krishna reveals that true action must be guided by knowledge. Many perform duties blindly, but understanding transforms every action into wisdom. He also speaks of divine incarnation. Whenever righteousness declines, the divine manifests to restore balance. Knowledge and action are partners. Knowledge clarifies the purpose of action, and action grounds knowledge into reality. In modern life, this means being aware of what we do and why we do it. When every act is conscious and purposeful, it becomes sacred. Ignorance may bind us, but awareness will liberate us, even while we live and act in this world. Chapter 5. Renunciation and Action. Arjuna wonders whether renouncing the world or acting is superior. Krishna teaches that both can lead to liberation, but action performed without attachment is much higher. True renunciation is not fleeing responsibility, but performing duty without desire for reward. A wise person sees no difference between friend and foe, honor and dishonor, gain and loss. Freedom comes not from escaping the world, but from freeing the mind from attachment itself. In our daily lives, this means we can live fully, work sincerely, and remain free internally. Detachment is the key. Live, act, love, and work. But do not let the mind be enslaved by these outcomes. This is the real liberation, freedom within life itself. Chapter 6. The Yoga of Meditation. Krishna speaks of meditation, discipline, and balance. The highest yogi is not the one who abandons life, but the one who lives with self-control, practicing stillness and reflection. He explains the yogi who meditates, who controls mind and senses and remains devoted to self. Yet, Krishna also emphasizes compassion. The highest yogi loves and serves all beings equally. Meditation is not an escape, it is a mastery over the mind. In today's world, this teaches inner resilience, to quiet the mind amidst the chaos that surrounds us, to balance effort and rest, and to act with compassion. These are the marks of a true yogi. The practice of meditation strengthens the inner life, enabling action without agitation and presence without distraction. The Bhagavad Gita, chapters 7 to 12. Chapter 7. The Yoga of Knowledge and Wisdom. Krishna begins by revealing the depth of his presence. He is the essence of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. He is the mind, the intellect, and the soul. All beings arise from him and ultimately dissolve back into him. Yet, most humans do not recognize this reality, blinded by the desire and ignorance. Only the rare soul who surrenders fully experiences Krishna as their inner essence of all things. The teaching is profound. Divinity is not distant. It is woven into every leaf, every thought, every breath, and every act of life. To see Krishna is to see life itself, the sacred behind the ordinary. In today's world, this invites us to practice awareness. Every encounter, every experience can be a reflection of the divine if we pause and perceive deeply. Recognizing the sacred in daily life transforms mundane moments into profound experiences. Spirituality becomes not a practice of escape, but a celebration of life itself. Chapter 8. The Yoga of the Imperishable Absolute. Arjuna asks about the eternal, the nature of death, and the journey of the soul. Krishna explains that those who remember him at the moment of death reach liberation. The soul, imperishable and eternal, continues beyond birth and decay. What matters most is the final thought. It shapes the destiny of the soul. Krishna emphasizes that life is a practice. How we live, think, and act shapes our final moments. Awareness of the eternal self brings courage and focus even in the face of mortality. In modern life, this teaches us to live with mindfulness and higher purpose. By keeping our mind steady on truth and virtue, we prepare ourselves not just for daily challenges, but for the ultimate journey beyond this world. Living consciously transforms fear into strength and anxiety into serenity. Chapter 9. the yoga of royal knowledge and royal secret. Krishna now reveals the most intimate teaching. He is the creator, sustainer, and essence of all life, yet is untouched by it. Even the smallest act of devotion, a leaf, a flower, a fruit, offered with sincerity, is accepted by him. The lesson is empowering. Divinity is accessible to everyone, regardless of status, wealth, or learning. Devotion is measured not by grandeur, but by love and sincerity. In today's context, this invites simplicity. True spiritual practice is not about complicated rituals or impressive displays. It is about the small, sincere acts, a helping hand, a compassionate word, a mindful offering. By approaching life with devotion, even ordinary moments become extraordinary. The world itself becomes sacred when we act with awareness and love. Chapter 10: The Yoga of Divine Glories. Krishna now celebrates his infinite manifestations. He is the brilliance in the sun, the courage in the hero, the fragrance in the earth, the wisdoms in the sage. Whenever greatness or beauty shines in the world, it is Krishna expressing himself. The meaning is profound. Divinity is not a distant abstraction. Every act of virtue, courage, or love is a glimpse of Krishna himself. In our daily lives, this calls us to see the sacred in the ordinary. Instead of searching for God in far-off places, we can recognize Him in every person, every experience, and every moment. Spirituality is not separate from life. It is fully immersed in it. Seeing the divine in everything nurtures reverence, gratitude, and a sense of wonder that transforms our existence. Chapter 11: The Yoga of the Cosmic Vision. Arjuna asks Krishna to reveal his cosmic form. Krishna grants divine vision, and Arjuna witnesses a form beyond imagination. Countless faces blazing like 1,000 suns, encompassing all creation and destruction simultaneously. He sees warriors rushing into Krishna's mouths, symbolizing destiny and the inexorable flow of time. This vision is both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Arjuna realizes Krishna is not just his friend, but time itself, eternal, infinite, and unstoppable. The teaching for us is humility and surrender. Life is vaster than we perceive, and the challenges we face are a part of a greater cosmic plan. While we may not feel in control, the universe operates on a scale beyond our understanding. Recognizing this, we learn to act with courage, humility, and faith in the natural order of existence. Awe and reverence become the foundation for wisdom. Chapter 12: The Yoga of Devotion. After witnessing the cosmic form, Arjuna inquires about devotion. Krishna explains that the highest devotion is love, faith, and surrender. He emphasizes that devotion is not about rituals or intellect, but about the sincerity of the heart. Even the simplest offerings, a flower, a drop of water, or a word of praise, offered with love, are pleasing to the divine. The meaning is clear. Spirituality is accessible to all. One does not need scholarship, wealth, or status to experience the divine. In the modern world, this chapter reminds us that devotion is a personal relationship. We can see God as a friend, guide, or companion. Love, trust, and surrender open the heart. A life lived with devotion brings joy, strength, and the capacity to see sacred in all beings. It transforms ordinary acts into sacred offerings and mundane life into a journey of love. The Bhagavad Gita, chapters 13 through 18. Chapter 13. The Yoga of the Field and the Knower. Krishna explains the distinction between the body, called the field, and the consciousness that observes it, called the knower of the field. The body, mind, and senses are temporary, ever-changing. The soul is eternal, witnessing all experiences without being affected. Beyond both is the Supreme, the source of all. The meaning is transformative. You are not just your body, nor your thoughts or emotions. You are the observer, the silent witness behind all these experiences. In today's world, this awareness brings freedom. When we stop identifying with every reaction, setback, or success, we cultivate inner stability. Life's challenges no longer define us. We act from clarity, not compulsion. This chapter invites us to step back, observe, and act consciously, creating a space where wisdom and calm guide our choices. Chapter 14. The Yoga of the Three Gunas. Krishna describes the three qualities or gunas that shape nature: sattva, harmony and clarity; rajas, passion and restlessness; and tamas, inertia and ignorance. Every thought, every emotion, and every habit arises from this interplay. The lesson is practical. Our moods, behaviors, and even society itself is often influenced by these forces. Awareness allows us to rise above them. By cultivating sattva, clarity, compassion, and knowledge, we can act wisely. But Krishna also reminds us that even sattva binds. The ultimate goal is to transcend all three and recognize our eternal essence. In modern life, this teaches self-awareness. When restlessness or inertia arises, we see it as a force to manage, not an identity. By mastering these forces, we find freedom. Freedom to act with balance, wisdom, and purpose, unshaken by life's fluctuations. Chapter 15. The Yoga of the Supreme Person. Krishna presents the world as an inverted tree, roots above, branches below. The material world, ever-changing and impermanent, entangles the mind. To attain liberation, one must cut this tree with the axe of detachment and turn towards the eternal root, the Supreme. The lesson is abundant. World's pursuits are temporary. True fulfillment comes from connecting with the eternal source. In today's world, this invites perspective. Instead of chasing fleeting achievements or positions, anchor yourself in the eternal values of truth, virtue, and awareness. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means freedom from bondage, allowing us to act fully and joyfully without being enslaved by the outcomes. Chapter 16. The Yoga of the Divine and Demonic Qualities. Krishna describes two types of qualities in humans: divine and demonic. Divine qualities include fearlessness, truthfulness, compassion, and self-restraint. Demonic qualities include arrogance, cruelty, greed, and anger. The teachings are stark. Our destiny is shaped not by birth, but by the qualities we cultivate. Nurturing divine qualities leads to freedom and peace. Indulging in demonic tendencies leads to bondage and suffering. In modern life, this chapter is like a mirror. Every choice, every action, and every habit strengthens one side or the other. When we act with compassion, patience, and humility, we move closer to our higher self. When we act from ego, greed, or anger, we feed darkness. True spirituality is practical. It is lived in the choices we make each and every single day. Chapter 17: The Yoga of the Threefold Path. Krishna explains that even faith reflects the three gunas. Sattvic faith is pure, compassionate, and selfless. Rajasic faith is motivated by desire or ambition. Tamasic faith is ignorant, confused, or harmful. The lesson: sincerity and intention matter more than the outward actions. Charity, worship, and even eating habits must be guided by the purity of heart. For today's world, this teaches us conscious living. It is not enough to perform rituals or social duties mechanically. True faith, devotion, or action arises from clarity, love, and integrity. By purifying intention, we uplift not only ourselves but also the world around us. Spirituality becomes a living, breathing practice rooted in authenticity. Chapter 18: The Yoga of Liberation and Renunciation. Krishna concludes the Gita with the ultimate teaching. Liberation comes from acting without attachment and surrendering to the divine. Renunciation is not abandoning life, but freeing the mind from desire and obsession with results. Every duty performed sincerely according to one's nature is sacred. He emphasizes that surrender to the divine, coupled with the right action, leads to freedom. By letting go of ego, fear, and attachment, one aligns with a higher order, the source behind all creation. In modern life, this chapter is the culmination of all lessons. We are constantly pressured to achieve, control, and possess. Krishna invites us to act fully but without binding attachment. Offer your efforts, struggles, and successes to the divine. In surrender, we find strength. In detachment, we find clarity. And in action without expectation, we discover true liberation. The Gita begins with confusion and ends with clarity. Arjuna transforms from despair to purpose, and so can we. By understanding the self, performing duty with detachment, nurturing devotion, and surrendering to the divine, we navigate life with wisdom, courage, and peace.